Shot easy, Mossberg shotgun, pistol grip action. Feed a motherfucker more pellets than Pac-Man. Undercover trying to listen in like rap fans. Two-step till you get your proof, yep, tap dance. We don't incriminate, just eliminate.
Welcome to the Curious Red Flags podcast. I'm your host, the only guy, Nick Carthan, man. First of all, I want to apologize, and let's just talk about a little bit of procrastination. Let's talk about a little bit of a procrastination that the elephant in the room. This shit was supposed to come out a long time ago. You know, I made the flyer probably about 4 months ago, and I was like, man, I'm about to do the podcast. I'm about to do the Curious Red Flags podcast. And then I put it out, and the shit just never put it out. It is not to anyone's fault but mine. You know what I'm saying? It's not to anyone's fault but mine. I have myself to blame. I have my procrastination to blame. Because I kept putting shit aside. I kept saying, okay, I need a background. You know what I'm saying? And I got the background. I was like, okay. I need something in the background to make the shit look pretty. I got a bunch of books that I read. I put it up. I'm like, nah, I need a quote. I got the Michael Jordan quote. And the Michael Jordan quote says, some people want it to happen, some wish it would happen, others would make it happen, right? That means I have to make this shit happen. Got that. Then I was like, nah, I gotta get a Curious Red Flag podcast logo. I got the logo put here in the picture frame, right? Then I was like, and I kept saying I gotta get, and I still ain't start this shit. So I came to the point where I was like, yo, who am I fooling? I'm only fooling myself. I gotta get this shit done. So I am here, but we gotta talk about procrastination, man. Procrastination is the worst shit in the world. Because if I told y'all that I was supposed to put something out of my own since 2011, and I'm now putting out my first vocal project, I think, don't get me wrong, I think the thing is, like, I have several shows that's out, right? I have the Hypothetical Question Show, which on Instagram, if you follow me at Nick_Carthan, I have that show, right? But I bring people in to question me and ask me hypothetical questions, and I bring a guest in. So I'm doing that with someone. And then I have the Full Disclosure Show that I do with my boy Marshall Brandon on IG. And that's with my partner. I have the Black Jelly Bean Show, and I have two other co-hosts. So what happened now is when I had to depend on myself, I just wasn't putting out. I don't know what it was. It's me. I was the problem. Nick Carthan was the problem. I was procrastinating, watching cartoons, watching Justice League, watching the news, watching other people's bullshit, complaining, oh, this guy, can you believe what they're saying? That shit is soft. Can you believe what she's saying? She ain't real. But I ain't the real one because I ain't put shit out. So now I'm here with the Curious Red Flags podcast. This is my baby, man. This is the first project I'm doing my own. You know, if you look, I got the Little Kim album here. That is like one of my top 5 rappers. If you want to rumble with the beat, huh? What? Put a hex on the whole family. Like, I don't give a fuck what you say. Lil Kim is one of my top 5 rappers, along with Ghostface Killer. And I'm not going to go to the other 3, because I just want to let you know about those 2. You know, it's my show. I can do what I want. I don't give a fuck. I got the NWA album up there, you know, because I'm Nick with an attitude. I have an attitude, you know. And these books is shit that I've been reading. And and I have a Jenga game here to hold the books up. So, you know, it is what it is. But this is the Curious Red Flag podcast, where I'll be discussing red flags in certain situations in my life, certain situations with the news, certain stories I have. I'll throw a red flag up and let you know it's a red flag with the situation that's going on. Now, the cool thing about having my own show, having a podcast, is I can say what I want. I'm going to put out what I want. I'm going to put out what I feel. If I want to put out some news that's been going on, I'm going to put out some news. Sometimes I might put out a story. Sometimes I might put out some something that's going on with my life. Something that's not going on with my life. Sometimes I might put out some shit that I don't give a fuck about. Here's the thing. My show is a gumbo of shit that has red flags. We all have red flags. Some of these red flags are curious. and we want to know about the red flags, and I'm going to put them out the way I want. Now, that's my introduction. You know what I'm saying? It's probably unorthodox. I just jump right in. Shout out to my man Al Sheed for giving me the song in the beginning. That shit just, when I listen to it, it just defines what this podcast is going to be for me. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Al Sheed for blessing me with the track, man. I want to talk to you guys today about toxic checks. That's what we're going to talk about today. The first episode of the Red Flags, we're going to talk about toxic checks. Now, this week there's a show on, I don't know what channel the show is on, but it's called Marriage Bootcamp, and they put out clips to promote the next episode to get views. And one of the clips we saw was rapper Vado put his hands on Tahiri. I believe he went to choke her, and the next day she put up people thought it was fake, and she put up a whole post about the chokehold that was so around the world. Now, before I get started, I want to let you guys know I don't condone any type of choking or domestic violence, but I want to say this, and this is the red flag. This is the red flag. This is the first toxic check we're going to talk about. Although what Vado did was wrong, you're about to get a check for this choke that you was put in. Let me explain what I'm saying, people. Let me explain the red flag in this situation. She's about to receive a check for showing toxic behavior on a TV show. No matter what she put. Because at the end of the day, when you do these reality shows, they want drama. If you watch the clip, when he went to grab her, she already went to close her neck with the smile of, I'm about to get paid. Here's the thing. You have the right as a human being to say, hey, I don't want to air that because I am a figurehead and I could speak about what's done, but when that's used to promote, understand that what happened right there was used to get more views, which will generate more money for you to get on another season of what other reality shit you're trying to do, or what books you're trying to sell. So you're just as bad as him as going along to promote this toxic negativity on TV. Let's be real. All reality shows, and I'm not gonna sit here because first of all, I don't want anybody watching this show like, oh, Nick's about to be on one and be woke, and no. I'm just talking some serious shit. We've all gotten some toxic checks in our lifetime. But the thing about it is, what people have to look at, you guys are commenting about it. You guys are like, Vado, you're canceled. You guys are like this, that, the other. But not realize that there's a contract they signed which says, we're going to show a little drama to get more people to view this, talk about it, and get money. Understand, that clip did not make me want to watch the show, but I won't lie to you, years ago, I'm 39 now, years ago, I wouldn't, if I saw a clip of someone getting bashed in the head with a high heel shoe, I'm tuning in. I want to say, I want to see somebody get dog walk all over. Don't get me wrong, I want to see that shit. Back in around my 20s, and I wanted to see some toxic behavior. I'm giving the views. But as you get older, you watch this shit, you're like, they're making us look bad. But that's just an example of a toxic check. Like I said, I don't condone any domestic behavior. Vado, as a man, I don't even know, like, especially with all the red flags we have, with men doing wild shit. I don't even know why you would agree to a show that shows you first of all, she's disrespecting you throughout the whole season. So you had to, you felt this brewing, and you decided to say, hey, this would be good for my brand. Let me give her a a WWE chokehold live on TV, so people could come on my Instagram and say I'm canceled, or worse, or better, where they just fame you and they say I've never even heard. Cause you know, a woman was like, I've never even heard a Vado track a day in my life. Who is this bastard? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're canceled because you got your check. You got money, but it's toxic because now no one wants to fuck with you. No one wants to fuck with you anymore. And was it worth it, Vado? Was it worth it? I mean, you went from doing songs like "Hey Mama," you know what I'm saying, and polo, 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 huh? You know what I mean? You was on remixes with Fab and Beamer Benz of Bentley. You know what I'm saying? And now you just you went down a slide and you needed money and you said, fuck it. I'm gonna put my hands on this girl and get myself a toxic check. When I look at Shorty and I think about her, a lot of the reality shows she's been in some type of toxic situation. And that's a topic for another show of how you keep finding yourself in these same type of situations. This is why sometimes you have to heal and ask yourself, yes, we know what your partner did was wrong, but what am I doing wrong that I am continuing to be abused? Not saying that why am I continuously in these abuses? What is it about my behavior as well? I can tell you can't tell someone they're the brokest motherfucker you ever dealt with while all the cameras is on. I can tell you that much. Someone might want to razor edge you if you tell them in front of the world that they are the brokest nigga you ever dealt with. Now he should razor edge you, but someone might want to razor edge you, Terry. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you got a fat ass. Niggas are still gonna want to fuck. Everyone's gonna learn the hard way. It is what it is. That's what men are. We're animals. You know what I'm saying? I can't sit here and lie and say dudes would be like, they'd be like, hey, watch out for Tahiri. Yo, that girl right there, she wild. She gonna put your blood pressure up. And they gonna be like, well, shit, not me. I'm gonna get my back shots in. That's just how dudes think. But we gotta think smarter on situations like that. Toxic checks. Let's get back into toxic checks. I'll give you an example. So I remember when I was like about 25, 24, I dated a porn star. Red flag, I dated a porn star, right? And while I was dating her, I remember she took me to one of her porn parties. And I remember like people were walking up to me like, yo, that's your lady, man. Oh man, yo, your shorty, she's so committed to the role. And like she keeps getting extra bread when we do extra scenes, we add more men in. Like she's game, bro, and she's getting paid more. And I'm like sitting there like, like I gotta be professional. Like this is, I'm dating a porn star, so obviously I'm meeting all her coworkers that have clearly fucked her all over. But here's the situation. Here's where the toxic check comes in. I remember when she was gonna take a break from porn, and we had to find ways to she was trying to find ways to make money, and every idea she had to make money kind of dealt with some type of porn situation. She's like, babe, I could do some VIPs, get people to hire me, basically hire people to fuck her for money. Or she was always trying to do strip parties, or she knew and I had to leave her because what I found out was all she's used to doing is getting toxic money. That's all she's used to doing. That's the only way, that's her only hustle was to get toxic money. And I had to leave her. I'm not going to lie and say how I left her was not petty, because she said some shit. She was like, I said, yo, this is the only way you can make money. And she's like, why? Would you rather me? I'd rather suck a dick than be broke as you. And I said, word? And she said, yeah. Now take your broke ass out my house. And when she went to lay down to go to sleep, I went in her bathroom and I just peed on everything. I was like, yeah, I'm broke. Well, take this broke piss. And I pissed all over the towels and everything, and I left. Was that mature? No, I was young. But I remember she screamed out her building window. She's like, fuck you. Even your piss smells broke. You know what I'm saying? we made up and smashed again. But I'm a nigga. But I eventually left her alone because her money was not sought out in a right way, and that money was toxic. That's a toxic check. Give another example of receiving toxic checks is putting yourself in situations that you do not like. You know what I'm saying? Ladies, a toxic check could be going to a workplace and dealing with someone that you clearly know wants to fuck you, but you're getting a check from him, and you're upset, but you don't. Cause I've heard women be like, "Well, I just don't want to fuck up I don't want to mess up my money," and you'll let some dude that has a beard a mustache that grows inside his mouth, just and stink breath. Like, you ever dealt with a dude? Like, you ever dealt with someone who got a rotten tooth in the back of their mouth? Like, it's like someone is back there picnicking and taking shits behind your molar, and he's just breathing in your face every day, and you're just dealing with that high intensity stress to make sure your money is paid. And it's like, that's a toxic check, because you're willing to deal with whatever to make money. I've seen these toxic checks all through the COVID-19. COVID-19 let us know who's willing to get toxic checks. I've seen people who have high careers, who judge people, who school teach, who have major jobs, pop that pussy on IG for a quick $30. Now, don't get me wrong. You gotta put food on the table. You might want to make that cookie crisp stretch a little bit longer in the family. But when it's time to go back to work, remember that some of your coworkers cashed app you a couple of $999. Okay? And now you have to deal with the disrespect at the job because you wanted that toxic money. And listen, I had some toxic money. I've taken some toxic money. This is what this red flag show is all about. This red flag show is about me expressing my behavior and telling you about other behavior. I've received some toxic money before. I received some toxic money. I've received toxic money and I've had to pay. You know what I'm saying? I remember one of my first toxic checks that I got was from this rather plump chick who, I like the plump women, but this woman was plump. She had one of those hand guards that go on her hand for the off-riders. And, I used to train her, and she paid me good money, but she used to fondle on me too. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I would walk in, she'd be like, "Hey, how you doing? How you doing?" And grab on my dick and grab on my beard and shit like that. And I'd be like, "Okay, you ready to train?" She's like, hold on. The training starts when I say it's ready. I already paid for the hour. And I'm not gonna lie, I prostituted. I took the, you know what I'm saying? I might be the reason why she still has that arthritis hand brace on her hand. But it became times where I was like, I just want to go over there and train you. This $750 a month just ain't worth it. But a nigga was buying some red Jordans at 26 at the time. So I was just giving up. I was just slinging the dick. But after a while, it was like, where it really got to the point was where I was out somewhere and she came up to me. I was out with a lady and she came out to me and she was like, "When you're done with this bitch, make sure you bring that dick to me." And it was right in front of the girl. I could be mad at no one else but myself because the date I was on, I was paying for the dinner with the money, with the toxic money that I was getting from this bitch. And because I was taking that toxic money, that allowed for the shit that was going to happen to me. So yes, I received a little toxic money. Red flag. I took a little toxic money. But you know what? I learned from the situation. Real quick, Bears and Guns t-shirt. That merch, I got that merch coming. and I got the Curious Red Flag hoodies, t-shirts coming, man. Just like I said, it's the first episode. Y'all understand, like, before I quick commercial break, I'm doing my own commercial real quick. Like, this first episode was real special because, like, I finally decided to actually get out of my own way and put this shit out. So, my podcast, I don't want to be one of those dudes that be like, man, my podcast like no other. Like, my podcast, it's gonna be pure gumbo. Because if you know me and you know Nick Carthan, you know Nick Carthan talks and is all over the place. And I'm bringing you into my world, okay? So, okay, just letting you know. Real quick, man, a real good read. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck is a book by Mark Manson. This is a real good book, man, that I feel like me, and whoever wants to listen to me that's a fan of this podcast should listen to, because it's definitely a dope book. It's a book about just not giving a fuck, man. Sometimes we care what other people are thinking about it. We look into so many situations a little bit too hard, and we gain anxiety, stressing ourselves out for what? It's a great book. Anyone that can pick this book up, I feel like it'll be a great read for you. It's The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Let's talk about a little bit about COVID-19. A lot of people basically have been saying that COVID-19 has changed a lot of people's lives, but I feel like if you bring the positivity out of COVID-19, without COVID-19, you guys wouldn't be getting this podcast. It really was able to push me to display my talent in a new level and create this podcast, create the Hypothetical Question Show, do the full disclosure of my partner, Marshall Brandon. So, just putting things in perspective so we can always pull the positivity and not the toxic. See, I went back to toxic. Not the toxic. See that? I told you my show gumbo, but I come right back to the main point. And the main point is I use COVID-19 to figure out a way to make positive money, not go out and make toxic money during the COVID-19. You see what I'm saying? I'm doing something positive. I'm bringing a show to you guys. You can find this show on my YouTube channel, which is Nick Carthan, or for the people that want to listen to audio, that's driving their car, you can find this shit on SoundCloud. For all my drivers, not me, I'm about to get my license. I can drive now, but I didn't have a license. I don't want to say it's a New York thing. I think right at this point, when I say it's a New York thing, I had a bunch of New Yorkers coming out and be like, nigga, we drive. So it is a Nick thing. I got into a car accident during a driver's test, and then I got to another car accident where I wasn't even driving. So I was a fear of driving, but now living in California, and when you got people saying the store's around the corner, and the store is 14 mountains around the corner, I have to get a car, drive, get my license before I get a huge ass walking and getting big hamstrings. You know what I'm saying? I don't need that in my life. So, yeah. So, yeah, it's on SoundCloud, The Curious Red Flags, Nick Carthan. Look, I'm pointing at the bottom of the screen. The Curious Red Flags, Nick Carthan. You see that? I'm pointing at the bottom. Like, there you go. That's where I'm going to write the shit. And you can be found right here on the YouTube channel. Real quick. Don't doubt me. Don't doubt me. I'm coming. I'm coming, y'all. I'm coming. This is the first episode of The Curious Red Flags of Nick Carthan. I'm going to let you know. This podcast, y'all going to love it. I come from New York. I came out here to live a dream, and then I went to jail, for 3 weeks, and my story's crazy, y'all. So I'll be bringing the news. I'll be bringing y'all all types of shit, red flags everywhere, man. But this is the first episode. I just had to get it out. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like you going. And you're like, I don't want to go skydiving. You know what I'm saying? And then you just like, fuck it, you jump out. And you forget the goggle. It's like, I just need to get this shit out. And now that it's out, Lord, a monster has been created. But listen, everyone that's watching this episode, what I want y'all to do is on the SoundCloud, on the YouTube, just comment with red flags, man. Your boy is here to do some things. And this podcast, I'm gonna let y'all elaborate a little more. I have the Black Jelly Bean Show. I have the Hypothetical Question Show, and full disclosure with my partner Marshall Brandon. This show right here is that all those shows connect to this. This is my Marvel universe, and I am the Thanos in this shit. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be bringing stuff from all. You have to follow all those shows to understand what I'm talking about. Sometimes on the Curious Red Flags podcast. But like I said, stay away from them toxic checks. Stay away from them toxic checks. You know what I'm saying? I know it's hard. You know, listen, that's almost like telling someone, it's equivalent to telling someone, stay away from ratchet pussy. You know what I'm saying? It's easy, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? Because ratchet pussy is by far some of the wettest pussy you could ever deal with. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to say ratchet, but I want to say toxic pussy. Toxic pussy is some of the best pussy in the world. And ladies, not to leave you out, y'all like toxic dick. Toxic dick, your heart might hurt, but your pussy feel good. Because a toxic nigga is fucking, he knows he's toxic, so he's going to give you the dick. Most toxic niggas are going to give you the, cause I was once in my 20s, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I know. You know what I'm saying? I've delivered some toxic dick before. I've delivered it. You know what I'm saying? And I used to wonder, like, why is they still fucking with me? But it was the dick. It wasn't me. I had a girl in the middle of sex be like, I don't know why I'm still fucking you. You drive me crazy. And I'm like, because it's the dick. But it you know, you gotta, as you get older, you gotta learn to say, yo, you ever walk down the street and see someone talking to somebody, and you like, man, he or she is gonna fuck this person's wallet up for life. You can just tell, because especially with niggas, like when I ever see a dude talking to a chick that got all that shit together, I can tell when a nigga about to fuck her life up. When he be like, yeah, girl, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You can ask, whenever you hear somebody say you can ask anybody to a girl, personally, like whenever he tell you something's going on in his life, he's like, you can ask anybody. That nigga is toxic. And fellas, a girl is toxic when you first meet her, she be like, damn, you shy. Why you not talking like that? Why you not talking? You so shy. Look at the shy nigga. Look at the shy nigga. That bitch pussy is a revolving door of toxic behavior. It will be good. And it is very hard to leave it. The police might visit your house 4 to 5 times for arguing. You might lose your voice. You might even bring that shit to work. But some way, somehow, you're going to be fucking him or her. And you're going to be looking up at the ceiling fan, if there's one. Or if not a ceiling fan, but you could be looking out the window and you're going to be like, God, please get me out of this toxic situation. How many times have you broken up with someone toxic and you just block their number, and they call you from a private number, and the phone clearly says unknown or private, and you be like, hello? Oh my God. Why you say hello? Oh my God. You know it's this toxic nigga or her. You know it's them. But it be that dick or that pussy that got you like, yo, I need it. Red flag. Red flag. Red flag. Hey, y'all. That was episode 1 of the Curious Red Flags and Nick Carthan. You can follow me at Nick_Carthan. You can also follow the podcast on SoundCloud. That's the Curious Red Flags podcast, Nick Carthan. Or you can watch it on YouTube. If you're watching this video, you're already on the channel. But tell your people to subscribe. Nick's here. I'm here, y'all. I'm here, y'all. I'm here. I'm bringing the red flags. I'm bringing this to y'all. People believe in me. People have been wanting this shit for years, and I've been procrastinating, and now I am here. The Curious Red Flags Podcast. Peace.
There's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide. It'll be my pleasure to watch you die, turning to memories when you threaten my life. Pray for my enemies when I catch them on side.